Hi, I'm Richard Craig from Consortium Music, and today I'm going to compare some synthetic saxophone reeds. Today I've got three different reeds by Legere. I've got here the Signature, the American Cut and the Classic. And there's a relatively new player in the market, synthetic reed by Venn. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the same 8 bars in quick succession without speaking. Look at the captions on the bottom of the screen so you can see which reed I'm playing. But before I start, I'm going to play the 8 bars on my normal cane reed for a reference point. So that's just playing at a comfortable, forte like you would do if you were playing with a quartet or a quintet or whatever. Let's put these reeds to the test and play them under slightly more extreme conditions. So I'm going to do the same thing again, but playing as quietly as I can get on each reed. Quiet and gentle. All of these reeds are so playable. They just, and they're the same every time you put them on. You might think they're expensive because one of these reeds costs the same as a box of 10 cane reeds. And you might think, well, I'm not going to pay that for a reed. But the thing is, most professional players probably throw out half the cane reeds in a box. And these will just last and last and last. So really, they're actually very good value for money. And the other thing about them is that they're the same every time you put them on. It doesn't matter whether it's a hot day or a cold day, or whether you're in one city or one country or in one climate or another, they're always the same. So that's really the big advantage of these things, that they're just reliable. Now I'll play the middle 8 for this next test. I'm going to really play as hard as I can and attack the reed with my tongue and see how they respond to that. What about in a more classical style? I mean, this is more of a jazz kind of setup. It's a Maya mouthpiece. So I'm going to put on a classical mouthpiece, a Selma C star, and let's change style and see what sort of a response we get when we're playing in a more classical style. So same thing again, cane reed first, watch the captions to see which reed I'm playing. So let's just take a closer look at these reeds. You can see here that the three Legere reeds are made from a very uniform synthetic material and very accurately machined, whereas the Venn reed made by D'Addario is a little bit different. We'll come to that. This is the Legere signature reed. Of the three Legere cuts, it's the most similar profile to a Van Doren cane reed. You can see, especially on the rails here, that's a very similar profile to my Van Doren cane reed. There's plenty of meat in this part of the reed here, if I can just get that to focus, and the tip isn't too long. It's a very responsive reed, gives a sound midway between bright and warm, and yeah, a good all-rounder. This is the Legere American cut, and you can see it's quite a radically different cut. Yeah, so it's got a very strong spine running up the middle. You can see that quite clearly there. It goes up to about here. So the tip is much longer on this one. You'll see that also on the profile on the rails here, that from there down is pretty much tip. Now that makes it very, very responsive indeed, and a little bit bright. This is a reed that's designed for jazz players, and it certainly suits that application very, very well. Now, this is the Legere Classic. Now this is, it's thicker. It's thicker at the heel. It's thicker along the rails than the others. You can see that that's a very thick rail all the way down. The tip is very short. But the material is slightly softer and more flexible than the other Legere reeds. So it's still very responsive, but it gives you a warmer sound. This is a reed that you can really hammer. There's quite a lot of resistance to it. So if you like that kind of reed, this is going to suit you very well. Now this is the Venn reed by D'Addario. First of all, it looks like a cane reed because it's actually made from polymer fibres that are developed to simulate the fibres of a cane reed. They're held together with a resin that's embedded with real particles of cane as well. You can see the ends of the fibres on the heel there, which is quite thick. This also has a profile that's very similar to a cane reed. You can see that along the rails here. That looks very similar to a Van Doren cane reed. The tip is quite short, which gives a nice dark sound and lots of resistance, but it's still very responsive. It's a good all-rounder, this reed, and definitely well worth a try. So those four synthetic reeds, I think the first two, the Legere Signature and American Cut, they're very responsive. Maybe you can't push them as hard as the other synthetic reeds and maybe the cane reed as well, but they're very controllable. They're very, very easy to play. They both feel quite different to the Legere Classic and the Venn, which are much harder. So I'm playing a number 3 in the Signature and American Cut, but a number 2 in the Classic and the Venn. And they're about the same strength, and about the same strength as my V16 number 3. So the Classic reed it's thicker at the tip as well, and it's got more heart. So that means it gives a much darker and kind of warmer sound. Similarly with the Venn reed, which is very responsive, but quite firm, and it's got a thick heart to it. They're all great reeds. Look, I mean, I could play on any of them, and the advantages and disadvantages of each one is just really a matter of what suits your style of playing the best. So if you're interested in trying them, get in touch with us at Consortium Music. The link's below in the description, and thanks for watching.